Hello, I'm the Hood Trucker, and this is the Hood Trucker News. First thing, before we get into, you see the title. Before we get into the what we're going to talk about, let me first send out my thoughts and prayers to the three service men and women who lost their lives in Jordan. They were the uh, unfortunate. They were unfortunately hurt and critically injured. They lost their lives in a drone attack that apparently the drone was mistaken for a friendly drone. So, meaning, I guess they thought it was a U.S. drone. Apparently, obviously, it wasn't. So, sometimes, you get people. People are not perfect, and sometimes people make mistakes that they don't necessarily pay for. So, like, even out here, um, this is not my truck. This is a loaner truck because my truck's in the shop. But even out here, sometimes people make mistakes and they don't pay for them. And sometimes it could be monetary, like you could give me the wrong direction, I'd be late, and then all of a sudden I got to pay a late fee. Now, a lot of times, people do the right thing and realize their mistake and want to correct it, but other times they don't. So I can only imagine whoever missed that, if that's what happened, and thought it was a friendly drone as opposed to an enemy drone. I'm sure they feel terrible. I mean, I can only imagine what that must feel like to know that you are the one that cost somebody their life. Also, I can only imagine what it's like to see one of your children go to the military. You think they're doing the right thing, and then they lose their life basically behind a mistake. It happens. Like, that's the military. You gotta know that that's a possibility. Like, whether it was a mistake on the part of somebody who was supposed to be watching that, or you have just regular war. Like, you got a lot of people that lost their lives in Vietnam, stuff like that, and those are all children. Somebody's children, and there was draft, and they was sending people out there young and all that, and then some of them didn't come back. And then you also had people that didn't like some of the people in the military in Vietnam because they didn't agree with the politics of Vietnam. So it's like, look, they made me go out there. I had to do what I had to do to survive, and I come back here, and y'all tripping like I had a choice or something. So I hate to see stuff like that. What I also hate to see is this, though. Um, I don't like when politicians take a situation like this and want to promote themselves. And I kind of got that feeling. I saw an interview that the mayor of Savannah. Now, let me just say their names because we appreciate their service, right? So the three soldiers were Sergeant William Jerome Rivers of Carrollton, Georgia. They were all from Georgia. I don't know, SPC specialist. I'm not sure. Kennedy Layden Sanders of Waycross, Georgia, and specialist Brianna Alexandria Moffett of Savannah, Georgia. Now, I forget which show it was, but they went in and interviewed the mayor of Savannah, and he was talking about Brianna as if he knew who she was. Listen, she was a part of the military. I doubt it. I doubt that the mayor meets everyone that goes to the military from Savannah, but he was talking about her as if he knew her. And then they asked him, "Did you talk to the family?" He said no. So I'm like, "Why are you doing an interview? You don't know her." I mean, but he talked as if he did know her, And it wasn't just like I just don't understand why he would get on there. The mayor of Savannah would get on there and say anything because you didn't know her. I mean, yeah, you could speak about her, but why? Because you didn't know her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand that at all. I just thought it was a little politicky. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, you know, thoughts and prayers go out to the family. I can only imagine what they're going through, and I wish them all the best. Now, let's get to what in the world is going on, right? Oh, by the way, hit that like button, like, subscribe, share the video because you know we're getting a little traction here, and you know a lot of people don't like what we're saying, but we're gonna keep saying it. So support the channel, please. Um, okay, Donald Trump is arguably the biggest criminal on earth. He's, in my opinion, one of the greatest con men that ever walked on 2 feet. Um, criminal. He's got criminal tendencies. I mean, he's regularly referred to as a dictator, or he's going to be a dictator if he ever gets back into office. He even admitted himself only on the first day, which I absolutely, I mean, if you're going to admit to doing it on the first day, I mean, knock it off. I mean, you're going to do it more than one day. And he admitted to it. Also, he also gives you kind of like mob boss vibes, right? So he's uh, running around telling Nikki Haley donors that if you continue to donate to her, you'll be kicked out of MAGA forever. Whether or not that's true, who knows? He's a liar. But you know, the fact that you would say that, you're trying to bully Nikki Haley donors to not donate so it can make your journey to the nomination a little easier. Because, you know, look, that she's still getting money. As a matter of fact, she even said after he threw a tantrum, I think we've all saw the clip. After he threw a tantrum and was talking crazy about me and stuff like that, we collected $1 million in 24 hours. So listen, there's a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. I'm one of them. But, you know, let's make it clear though, right? That even though I don't like Donald Trump, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden either. So we're gonna get to Joe Biden, you know, in all of his malarkey. But you know, I'm not, just because I talk my talk about Donald Trump doesn't mean that I'm a Biden supporter. So, but that's you know, for some reason that's triggering, or that's, you know, that's the go-to. Well, what about your guy? Well, it's not my guy. What do you mean, my guy? Anyway, so again, Donald Trump is arguably one of the biggest criminals on earth, and MAGA and the Republicans and some of the Newsmax people over there, they're going crazy, right? And I understand why. And if you have any common sense, or you're gonna be a realist about it, you should understand too that anything good, the Republicans want to smut it up, right? So same thing with woke. We've been talking about woke here on this channel last couple of days, right? And so the right has smut up woke, so that if I say that I'm woke because I'm aware, you're not going to just tell me anything. You say, no, that's not what it means. How are you going to tell me what my movement is, right? Which is ridiculous. But that's what they do, right? So here we go with Taylor Swift, and we're gonna look at some clips. Or I can't share the clips, but we're gonna listen to some clips, right? How Newsmax and a few other commentators or whatever, they're talking bad about Taylor Swift. Why? Because she has a large following who are not necessarily MAGA. And guess what? If she gets people out to vote, they're not going to be voting for Donald Trump. That's why they have to smut it up, right? And it's common sense. That's politics, right? Listen, they won't. Fox News, Newsmax, none of them will say anything about E. Jean Carroll. They won't do a story about it or nothing, right? Why? He just had to pay 83 million. 83. He was just, he was just. There was a judgment against him for $83 million. Why are you not doing a story about that? Interesting, but you'll do a story about Taylor Swift. Watch this.
Are dialing up the conspiracy theories about Taylor Swift following a report the Biden campaign is courting her endorsement.
And by the way, why is that even wrong? Like they said, it's a conspiracy that he's trying to court Taylor Swift. Why wouldn't he do that? That's politics. If Taylor Swift liked Donald Trump, y'all would be praising Taylor Swift. But because you already know she don't like Donald Trump or anything about him. You already know that. And she's got a massive following. You got to smut it up and make it bad. Watch this.
Now, in a piece on Monday, the New York Times wrote that Swift's name was on an endorsement wish list drafted by Biden aides.
And look, you're probably going to smut that up. Why is he doing that? Why is he why does he have a wish list? Because that's what that's what politicians do. They want to put people on the list so they can go holler at them so they can promote the campaign. I mean, that's what they do.
Well, yeah. Would you want Taylor Swift to endorse you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this prompted a wave of outrage from the far right-wing voices, many of them already critical of Swift for her previous endorsement of Democrats.
Yes. And they know she got a massive following. If she tell her people to go out and vote for Joe Biden, they're going to vote for Joe Biden. They don't like that. Republicans don't like that. Donald Trump don't like that. He was talking about Taylor Swift won some award or something. He said he don't understand it, and he also don't understand why they didn't nominate him for the award. He's a hater. Dog, that was a hater.
Relationship with Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce, who is a vaccine supporter.
Oh no! Oh no! He's a vaccine supporter. Listen, they gonna go with both barrels. They gonna come with both barrels. Oh no!
I kind of have a problem though with the hardcore Taylor Swift fans. This is a little bit what idolatry, I think, looks like, and you're not supposed to do that. In fact, if you look it up in the Bible, it's a sin.
Wait a minute. It said you had idolatry. Wait, let's run that back a little bit, because that sounds kind of like Donald Trump, don't it? Don't that sound like Donald Trump and how they be worshiping that dude and call him the Messiah and all that? You ain't supposed to do that, remember? Watch this. It's only bad if you do it for Taylor Swift, though.
Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce, who is a vaccine supporter.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I kind of have a problem though with the hardcore Taylor Swift fans.
That's MAGA. That's MAGA. Hardcore Taylor Swift fans is the equivalent to MAGA, because MAGA is hardcore too.
This is a little bit what idolatry, I think, looks like, and you're not supposed to do that. In fact, if you look it up in the Bible, it's a sin.
Wait a minute. But that's MAGA. MAGA be looking to, whatever he do, if he, I don't care what he do, I'm going to vote for him. That's MAGA. That's idolatry. That's the whole thing. You just said it was a sin. Well, it ain't a sin if you do it for Donald Trump, right? Hypocrite.
Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset.
She's the perfect vehicle to go to those low propensity, white liberal women. We can do this as well. We don't have a Taylor Swift on our side, but you know who we have? We have Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Kid Rock. That's the one that it one that took the AK-47 or something and shot the Bud Light or something. And then he sells Bud Light, but he sells Bud Light at his restaurant.
We have Ted Nugent. We have influencers, right? We have all these people. John Voight, he's going, let's effing go. If I heard that and my son was dating a girl who has a mouth like a teamster, that's it.
We both said.
Wait a minute. What about Donald Trump mouth? He says BS, the actual words at his speeches all the time. He said he grabbed women by the coochie. You don't have a problem with that. But if she says let's effing go at a football game and her dude is in the game, you got a problem with that. Straight hypocrites. I mean, Hippocratic hypocrites.
Cheering for the opposite team, the Ravens, to beat out the Chiefs just because we have had enough of Taylor Swift.
Look, they hate Taylor Swift so much, they was rooting for the Ravens, who lost, by the way. They were rooting for the Ravens just because Taylor Swift was rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. You mad? You stupid mad? You mad, stupid mad?
Get involved in politics. We don't want to see you there. Major League Sports.
Wait a minute. You don't get involved in politics. You don't want to see that. He just said he got Kid Rock. He'd rather hear Kid Rock than Taylor Swift.
In and of
Weirdo.
itself is nothing but a psyop. Get kids plugged into the cycle of going to public indoctrination camps, playing sports for their school, and going to games.
By the way,
You're indoctrinated if you go to a football game. See how they smutted that up? You can't even go to a football game now. You can't vote for the Chiefs. You gotta vote for the Ravens. Like they got all kind of stuff you can't do.
The first guy saying this is really bad. It's idolatry.
It's idolatry.
Imagine
irony.
Oh my God.
Talk about
who would know about that?
Exactly. Like when you say stuff like that and you just be spewing it, it's obvious hypocrisy. And people that have any type of common sense, like if you just want to be real and be just be an observer or whatever, it's obvious. The hypocrisy is obvious. Like you talking about idolatry. You mean to tell me you don't idolize Donald Trump? You call him the Messiah.
Pots? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then manners. This from incredible. Very worried about potty mouth.
Yeah. He said on tape he grabbed women by the coochie, and you worry about somebody language now. And he said BS, the actual bull-ish, right? You say the whole word at the speech sometimes, and you worried about somebody's mouth. Oh.
How dare she? How dare she?
A lot of couches on those networks.
It's not just Trump supporters who are talking about Taylor Swift, according to 3 sources who spoke with Rolling Stone. Trump himself recently claimed in private that he was, quote, more popular than the music star, and that his fans were more committed than hers.
Well,
interesting. You say that we just saw that idolatry. The people that follow Taylor Swift are indoctrinated, and Donald Trump is saying that they're more loyal than to the Taylor Swift people. What about that?
our fans won't actually kill 4 cops.
No, her fans won't do that. Who fans did that? What they say? Oh, that wasn't MAGA. That was FBI undercover. Yeah, of course they were.
They won't do insurrections.
They won't
True.
try to take the government over, if that's what you mean.
If you're gauging commitment,
they won't take American flags and turn them into spears.
Huh? Hypocrisy, right?
Law enforcement officers, if that's what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Also, he's reported complained about Time Magazine's decision to name her Person of the Year.
Oh, yeah. He mad because they named her Person of the Year. Watch what he say.
Saying it made no sense that he was not selected.
This dude got 91 charges, and he mad because he wasn't Person of the Year. Yeah, Criminal of the Year.
The story is sourced is really hilarious. But it's also like, a person close to Trump and another person familiar with the matter. So it's like, what matter? It's a matter here. National security. Donald Trump is insecure about how famous he is, and whenever there's anybody who's more famous or gets on the cover of Time magazine, he gets mad. That's And the sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
That's a narcissist with a fragile ego.
Board will be in session today, somewhere.
So wait, the 31, it's the 31st, right?
I do think it's
the judge said he would have the decision. It's not. He doesn't have to give.
Which one is this?
This is Unity. Right? You know this. Which one is this? Okay,
Which one is
250 million. The judge. There's nothing that says the judge has to decide today, but he's kept every other deadline he's imposed.
Which one?
It's the civil case in New York. It's a fraud. I like it when we get that.
Oh, they're talking about the civil case. We're going to have to look into that too. We might do another live tonight.
Taylor Swift and make up this fake stuff.
I know.
Because honestly, folks on Fox News and all those other networks there, they can't talk about E. Jean Carroll. They
Yes.
won't cover it. If they do, it's a glancing mention. They can't talk about the legal woes facing this former president because it messes up their entire money-making narrative.
Exactly. Because people like MAGA, and we've been experiencing this over the last few days, they don't see nothing that's commonsensical, right? So therefore, they're not going to report the facts about E. Jean Carroll and why he got to pay her $83 million. And so, you know, their defense is, or MAGA's defense is, well, he's not going to pay. What about Joe Biden? He's not going to pay. What about Joe Biden? She's a liar. She's a fake. She's this, she's that. Yeah, you want to smut everything up that ain't Donald Trump, right? In favor of Donald Trump, but yet you want to call Taylor Swift supporters committing sin by idolatry, yet people who support Donald Trump to no end, to the point they don't want to hear nothing negative about it, even though it's true. That's not idolatry, though. It's hypocrisy.
I'm sure they have. I bet they certainly didn't when it was like in breaking news mode at 5 o'clock on Friday, which is fascinating.
When the story actually broke.
Fox sports host, though. Colin Cowherd took down the deep-seated misogyny that he thinks is driving much of this.
There's a lot of really weird, lonely, insecure.
This is Colin Cowherd. He's a sports commentator. I think it's Fox Sports 1 or ESPN, one of them. But he's a long time sports commentator, and we're gonna see what he has to say. Excuse me.
Man out there. The fact that a pop star, the world's biggest pop star, is dating a star tight end who had one of his greatest games ever, and a network puts them on the air briefly, that it bothers you. What does that say about your life? Judge people sometimes on the silly stuff that bothers them. It'll tell you a lot about them.
Yeah.
When I hear this whole thing about Taylor Swift, I just want to watch football. Liar. You're lying. That's not true. A football telecast is not just football.
Yeah.
In fact, the commercials for 4 hours before the Super Bowl will be widely watched.
Yeah.
Did you know statistically in a 3.5-hour NFL playoff broadcast or regular season broadcast, just 18 minutes are actual football? And we have the data, we have the numbers. You don't turn away.
Yeah. There's
coaches cutaways. They show fans in Buffalo on fire.
Yeah.
Commercials, reviews, 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Of real football.
Yeah.
For the record, about the length of 5 Taylor Swift songs.
Yeah.
Listen to
mad, just mad, right? And it's all because, number one, MAGA's hypocrites. MAGA is hypocritical, right? I haven't seen anybody that supports Donald Trump that's not a hypocrite. Number one. Number two, or they stick their head in the sand. They don't want to hear anything bad, right? Or they say, well, it's about the money. It's about this or that. So you basically trade integrity for money. So you'll do anything for money. If that's the case, if you'll trade integrity for money, you'll do anything for money, right? Now, I don't trust people who do anything for money. And if you support somebody that has no morals, they only out they do stuff for themselves under the guise of I'm doing it for you. If I do it for me, it's really for you. That's insane. And people do this. La 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 la. I don't want to hear it. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Okay, even if he did, which he didn't, but even if he did say like he had the best economy and the lowest unemployment and all that, he grabs women by the coochie. That's why I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore. Once I found out he was, playing with little girls, I don't listen to that at all because I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about your music if you in prison for the rest of your life behind doing stuff you shouldn't have been doing, right? Especially the little girls. Like, what is you doing? Like, why is you even doing that? That's crazy. So, but here's the thing, though. Like, I've said this. I've said. I've talked about this clip before, where the guy says he doesn't want to believe in creationism because he doesn't want to believe that he came from a monkey. But here's the other thing: MAGA gets so wrapped up into the MAGA movement until they can't even hear any truth because it's blocked because it's your identity. So if you say I'm a Trump supporter and then you unload a bunch of bad stuff about Donald Trump, what does that say about you? What does that make you? You support a bad dude. So guess what you have to do? Because your ego's fragile too. You don't care about truth or you don't care about anything about what you're talking about in terms of why you support Donald Trump. You don't care about that. You just want to support a Donald Trump. That's it. Because if you are truly serious about who you follow and doing the right thing and stuff like that, if you stick your head in the sand, how do you know he's doing the right thing? You don't want to hear nothing bad. That's why these networks, they won't run the E.G. King story. E. What's her name? I forgot her name. E. Jean Carroll, I'm sorry. They won't run the story. Why? Because they know that instead of listening and comprehending what Donald Trump could have done, even though he's been found guilty, but you can't even, you don't even want to listen to the stuff he could have done bad, right? And because of that, you got your whole identity wrapped up in Donald Trump, idolatry, which is the sin, like the dude said. Because if it's idolatry for Taylor Swift, it has to be idolatry for Donald Trump. But you do this like a little kid and don't want to hear nothing. That's because that's why they don't run the story, because they're gonna lose money. Because why? You're gonna turn it off. You're gonna close your ears and turn it off and stick your head in the sand. And that's why they don't do it. They're gonna follow your lead, because if you turn that TV off, it turns their money off. They don't care nothing about what they aren't invested in integrity. They're invested in money. They're invested in profits. As opposed to you sitting at home, what are you invested in? Why are you so wrapped up in not wanting to hear anything bad? It's obvious. Anytime, and don't get me wrong, CNN does it with Joe Biden too. So don't get it twisted like I'm a Joe Biden supporter. Now, if it's like this, if somebody said, how you want to die, with a gun or a shotgun? There's no good choices. Right? There's no good choices. How you want to die? You want to drown? You want to be lit on fire? There's no good choices. Now, what you could do is say, well, if I drown, that's crazy, but it's probably more painful if I get set on fire. So maybe I don't want to set on fire. I'd rather drown. That's the choices we have. So if you're asking, do I want fire or drown? What are you supposed to do? It's like, okay, if you have to vote now, I'm registered in California, and they're probably going to vote for Joe Biden anyway. So my vote is probably not going to make that much of a difference. But I mean, you asking me to choose a gun or a bow and arrow or something like that. Like it's a terrible choice. Like the choice is terrible, like ridiculously terrible. Like this. Here we go again with the same two dudes. Neither one of them at the top of the game in terms of cognitive ability. Neither one of them is at the top of their game. So, again, these people get on here and say, well, what about your guy? What about Joe Biden? Yeah, he's terrible too. He sucks too. So here's the thing. My message to you is this, right? How about not closing your ears, but actually opening them like a woke person would do? Like if you're woke, you're aware, you're listening. Oh, let me go over here and see what they're saying. And then let me go research it to see if it's true. And then I'll make my decision then. Instead of what they want you to do is do this. That's exactly what they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to listen. They don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to be aware, which is what woke is, even though they tell you that it's a woke mob. Oh. So if a police brutalizes you for no reason, you're not supposed to say nothing. You're not supposed to protest about that. Now, I understand that sometimes people do what they're not supposed to do when they deal with the police, right? Like, if you're on the verge of getting a DUI, you probably shouldn't be arguing enough with the police to get shot. You shouldn't be running down the street pointing weapons at them or whatever. You probably shouldn't do that, right? Because it's literally a misdemeanor. Like you risking your life. And that's exactly what it is. And then, for a misdemeanor, I think it's 72 hours you sit in the drunk tank. And then, or even if you get caught with a gun, whatever the sentence is that you did, it's probably not going to be a death sentence like it would be in the street if you sit there and argue. Some people want to be, want to be bullies and want to be gang members and want to be doing all this because they hear it in the music until it's time to actually do that. I mean, when I say do that, I mean do that time, and then I want to go. Well, don't do it. Like they say, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, because you're gonna do some time. You out here running around. Look, like, I just heard the other day they sending subpoenas for them PPP loans. Guess how many Tekashi 6ix9ine is gonna be invented after that? After these people get slapped with some of these crimes and some of these times. They're going to be giving up all the people that was out here signing them up. Because there was a whole bunch of people signing people up for the PPP loan, taking a cut of the loan, right? Because like this, I'll give you 20,000, give me 5, or I'll give you 20,000, give me 20%, whatever the thing was, right? And then they put you on the hook, and then when it comes back, they come looking for you. They don't come looking for them. But guess who's gonna tell on them? You. Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're gonna get Tekashi 6ix9ine. But anyway, I had to do this story because I think it's the most ridiculous thing on earth. How you're crying about Taylor Swift possibly supporting Joe Biden and calling her supporters somehow different than MAGA in terms of whether or not it's idolatry or not. I mean, it's the exact same thing, except, like they said, Taylor Swift's probably not going to send them to go, storm the Capitol or nothing like that. She's probably not going to do that. So it's a little different. But in terms of support, They smut up Taylor Swift, who's exactly like or has the same, if not a bigger following than MAGA. So it's similar. But they smut up Taylor Swift. They smut her up because they don't like it. And they don't want you to like it. So they smut it up. Just like they don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to be aware and actually go out and not believe the conspiracy on its face and go out and do your own research. They don't want you to tell you that Donald Trump owes $83 million on this case, another 5 from another case. He about to get hit with another 300 and something on another case. And then all these other court cases, these 60-something court cases, that said get that raggedy defense out of here in terms of whether or not the election was stolen. Get that out of here. They don't want to tell you that. Why? Because you're not going to watch, because you're going to do this, and they're going to lose money. So that's why they don't do it. And that's why y'all need to be woke, because y'all sleep. Y'all sleep because y'all believe anything. They tell you that woke is bad, y'all believe it. They tell you that Donald Trump is the greatest thing on earth ever since sliced bread, y'all believe it. You'll do like, oh, no, I don't hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. So, it's crazy. I can even do that. Like, I can be a grown person, not on drugs, and sit there and do that. It's incredible. So, with that, we're gonna get on out of here. I think we're not ready to go yet, but we're gonna get up out of here. And do me a favor though, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Join the membership, but also keep your ears open. Don't do this. Don't do this, because you're acting like a child when you do that. When you turn off of something like a Fox News, a Newsmax, and whatever other news organization, and you turn off because they telling you bad stuff about the person that you like, you might want to listen. At least give it a listen, and then go do your own research. Why did they award E. Jean Carroll 83 this time, 5 a different time? Go find out why. Not just, oh, she's lying. Donald Trump, I would never do that. It wasn't a real. Just making it up. So stop making it up. Go find it out for yourself. I know it's probably a stretch for some of you, but give it a try. And with that, we're gonna get out of here. This is the Hood Trucker for the Hood Trucker News. Till next time.